All right, y'all. What's up? What's up? Welcome back to your favorite WMMA show. Hashtag CB99 Talks round 195, y'all. What's up? What's going on? Been about a week, right? About a week since I've been on live, so trying to get on, stay on like on a weekly basis so I don't, lose touch with y'all. But what's up? Yeah, I am live. Easy said, let's go. Marcus Bell, what's up, man? Tiago said, what's up? Easy said, get in. Yeah, what's up? Get in here, man. Gonna do a little bit of. No, I ain't gonna do no trash talking tonight, but if it sounds like that, that's what it is, right? Just messing, man. What's up? Hope everybody had a good weekend. Hope everybody's weekend was good, man. Just have a few things I want to discuss tonight. I wanted to jump on at 6:30 because I got some things to do a little bit later tonight. So um that way I can be on for at least until 8 o'clock if need be. All right. But yeah, wanted to, of course, talk about the big news here. Got to talk about the big fights I've been waiting for. Finally got my trilogy or my triple fight request here. It came through. They were teasing, man, with this last one. I didn't know how it was going to go, but they pulled it off, right? So definitely got to talk about that. This past weekend, action was pretty decent for WMMA. I mean, the fights weren't really of high significance, but they were satisfying. They were finishes. That's all we can say, right? Because the longer these type of fights last, then that's when people get angry, right? That's when people get a little disgusted. But you can't knock some unranked fighters scoring finishes, right? Especially we got to look at Alexa Thainera. Got to keep an eye on her. But before I really, I want to talk about that week, this past weekend. I want to talk about that whole thing. Before I talk about the flyweight fights, Rose, Miranda, Barber, and Blanchfield, I see Misha Tate's been talking. Shout out to BJ. He sent me this article, so I kind of want to discuss this. And man, I know it's going to ruffle some feathers here, but I'm gonna give my honest opinion on it. Misha Tate back behind the mic because she got a fight coming up, and she's bringing up title shot. So, I want to talk a little bit about that. All right. But before I really jump into it, man, look, I've been really busy, so I haven't really had a chance to talk about this fighter or do any research. I've been watching other fights like Dakota again, Wayne Kong, just kind of really taking in what Wayne Kong and Dakota and several other fighters bring to the table. But can y'all tell me anything about Alice Pieta without off top? Can y'all tell me anything about this fighter that the UFC signed? Don't tell me the obvious stuff. Don't tell me the obvious stuff. Look, I know she's 19 years old. I know she's a big bantamweight at 5'10", and I know that the UFC signed her. But outside of that, has anybody seen anything of significance? Like, is she scary with the power? Is she good on the ground? Does anybody know anything? I mean, at least whenever you ask me about Shannon Clark, I could tell you a little something, Fatima Klein, before she was signed, I could tell you something, But does anybody know anything about Alice Pieta? Like, aside from the name, because I know she's not Alex Pieta's sister, but is that the reason they signed her? Axel said he don't know anything about her. He doesn't know much about her either. Like, I know there's a couple of fights on YouTube. I just haven't had a chance to watch them. I thought somebody might have got to them before me, but I don't know anything. I don't know anything here. Like, just off top, like, I haven't really seen any highlights. Nobody even posted highlights on IG. Like, I saw on IG just this picture said 19-year-old signs to the UFC, and I was like, okay, well, what is she working with? And they didn't post any highlight reels or nothing. It's not even like she's been in LFA, to post any highlight reels. At least like when they were promoting fighters like Macy Barber or somebody, or Holly Holm when she came from boxing, I was seeing something. They put some kind of moniker behind those fighters, but I haven't really seen anything about her. And that's no disrespect, man. Like, I'm just saying, like, Maybe she could be some type of potential star, but I haven't seen anything to go off of. So I just want to know. So Axel said he hadn't seen anything. He said, I smell a star maker campaign coming from the UFC with her. Yeah, number one, I see the star maker there, the name, they might try to sell her as like her sister. They might try to sell her as Alex Pieda's sister whenever he already has a sister. What is her name? Is it Aline Pieta? Yeah. He already has a sister that fights in LFA, you know. Um, but they might be selling her off of, like the size and I guess the power. Let me see. She's 6-0. And let me see. 6-0 with 5 finishes. Okay. She's got five first round finishes, and 4 of those are first round knockouts. So okay, I see what they're doing there, but I still don't see like anything about her. To be said, Teresa Blader managed to get signed at 19, right? But at least I seen something. Like, still a big difference because I've seen fights. Like, I've seen her fight on Octagon. I've seen her put together a nice win streak. I knew she was a grappler, but tell me something about her. That's my thing. Like, it's not the age. I'm not talking about the age. I'm talking about what do we have to go off of. I had something to go off of with Blader. Aaron Blanchfield was like 20 something. When she got, but when she started fighting, period, and I had something to go off of. BJJ background. Or boxing background, whatever. But this right here, I'm just like, what do we have to go off of? She fought for a demo, Tusano, qualify, Cage Masters. Let me see, where was Cage Masters? She was a main event for Cage Masters, I guess. That was in Brazil. So mostly a lot of Brazilian fights. So yeah, that's about all we can say is, she just got signed by Alex's cousin, maybe. Maybe, man. Maybe she is, but let me see. Yeah, 19. I don't see anything outside of that. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, because I was checking out her IG. I seen some interviews, see some posts. Okay, there she is winning a belt. She's won a belt. But I don't even really see any big highlights here of her own. Let me see. But I'm like a lot of people on Facebook, man. Like, there's a lot of people saying, like, I know some people said maybe she look a little, maybe too young, maybe fragile. I don't know about fragile. She is young and big. Maybe she is durable. So I don't know about that part. But as far as her just being, in danger of, getting schooled by even some of the oldest fighters, I think that that's really possible. Let me see. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I ain't gonna hold up on this topic. I just wanted to know. Let me see. Here's some highlights. Somebody posted up some highlights and they posted up her best fights 5 months ago, but no real full fights. See, UFC signs 19-year-old. Is she related to her? Alex that's all people are asking. So maybe, I guess that's the way they're going to sell it. I guess that's the way they're going to sell it. Ravioli said, "Is this Alice Pieda's sister?" No, it's not. Aline Pieta is his sister. She's big too. She's pretty big as well. Yeah. Yep. Oh, what's up, BJ? He said, listening while busy. He said, when I start talking crazy, I have to come in the comment section. Oh, don't worry, it's coming. I don't know. Actually, would she make weight at 5'10", 18 years old? Maybe remember Smila, who's not a flyweight or anymore at 5'10" and 154 pounds. Probably, yeah. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. 5'10", she's not thin either. She's definitely not a thin bantamweight. So we'll see how long she'll make weight. But yeah, I just wanted to ask that. But maybe I'll jump back on at some point or do a video when I finally get to sit down and watch something on her. Let me see. Here's a hot. No, see, that's Eileen. That's Eileen Pieta. There's a lot of Alice Pieta out here sparring outside. And here's a couple of clips. Let's see. Yeah, she's big. Dang, she's big though. They list her at 5'10", but man, she looks bigger than 5'10", man. Maybe it's just because, for her size as a woman. Hold on. Dang, she is huge. Almost look like Megan Anderson or Macy or somebody. She's okay, yeah, she's got some size to her, but when you get taken down to the ground, everybody's the same height, right? Ain't that the wrestler saying and grappler saying? A lot of girls just look too small and they look outmatched. Look at all these easy finishes. Man, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to look down or disrespect, but I know what the UFC is doing right now. They probably feel like the bantamweight division is, it's in need of somebody like her, and they can also let this girl grow easily off of some of these, wheelchair and bantamweights. But to me, I still think there's some bantamweights that could give her problems. Like even Chelsea Chandler, Yana Kuniskai, any of these unranked girls, Nora Kernol, I still think they would probably give her some issues, even if they probably feel like the division needs her right now and it's not that good. But had she was, let's say if she was coming in like before, like Ronda era, Nunes era, I'd be like, oh, pump the brakes. But all right, let me look at this one link here. That's the one I was just watching, Easy. Thanks for sending that. But yeah, that's the one I was just playing right now. Yeah, that's about all I could find. There's one more, but yeah, that was the first result I found too. So appreciate you sending that because I was wondering too, but that's about it. So yeah, I'm just curious. I'm just curious here. Yeah, they're investing in 135. Yeah, they really are right now because it's needed. See, flyweight's just kind of flowing right now. All the fighters are good right now and young and ready to go. But yeah, Cavalcanti was a good signing because she was an LFA champion. She had beat Melissa Croden, who I thought was going to get signed had she won. But Cavalcanti was a good sign. Hopefully this is. I think she's going to need at least 3 or 4 fights before we see her fight a ranked fighter. They better not put her in there with somebody right off top. I mean, they might put her in there with Josiane Nunes, and she might send Josiane Nunes packing. Who knows? Because she's so big. So Alice Pieta versus Josiane Nunes. That one new girl they just signed. What was her name? Claudia something. She's a Polish fighter. She just fought and lost. Claudia. She's a new bantamweight too. I can't remember her name. Hold on. UFC women's bantamweight. UFC's women bantamweight. All right. We're going to find something out about her here. We're going to find something out. We can see if we can match her up against, let's see, Melissa Mullins, Tainara Lisboa. Y'all know Tainara Lisboa is taking on Luana Santos. They still got GDR in these rankings. Man, get her out of here. She retired. They still got Amanda Nunes in the rankings. This is on Tapology, just so y'all know. And Avila, all of them are retired. Oh, Tamira's Vidal is gone, so they ain't gonna feed her that fighter. What is that young girl's name? They just signed this young Polish girl, and she fought and lost already. What is that girl's name? I can't remember. Do you remember that name, Marcus? There was a girl they signed. Paul said, "What happened to Russian Ronda?" She got suspended. She got suspended for like a year. Yeah, she did. She got suspended for like a year, I think, because she had got popped. But I thought her year was up. But she ain't been doing much but posting, funny IG videos. That was the last I seen of her. Yeah, UFC. I mean, this is the best. This is the best explanation right here, man. Look, UFC bought all the tapes and hit them. They bought. That's like they did like some boxing sparring tapes. Like they hit all the Floyd Mayweather sparring tapes where he might have got buzzed to drop. They said, buy them. We gonna hide these things. GDR didn't retire. Did she? Yeah, she retired. She retired a while ago, man. She retired a while back. Give her Haley Cohen. Haley Cohen is fighting Nora Kernol. She's fighting Nora Kernol next month. That's gonna be Haley Cohen's first fight in a minute, right? Yeah, but before I jump on, I'm just trying to. I was just trying to figure some things out. I know somebody got to remember the other girl I'm talking about, man. Claudia. She just fought. She just fought. I can't remember the girl she fought. Yeah, Kennedy Freeman too. They signed her. What's up, Gary? Appreciate that. Yeah, they signed Kennedy Freeman. Yeah, Kennedy Freeman won a belt, like that Cage Fury belt or whatever. And so Kennedy Freeman is coming in. She might be somebody they match her up with. She was kind of one I was scratching my head about too, though, man. Like Kennedy Freeman, I'm not sure how far she goes either, but we'll see. We'll see. Axel said the Lithuanian girl. No, not the Lithuanian. This girl, she's kind of tan. Always wears her hair in a ponytail. You know, like I can't describe how she looks. I know I'm not sure if she has like an OnlyFans or something like that either. But she just fought. They signed her on short notice. I know y'all know who I'm talking about. They just signed this girl on short notice. I'm not moving on until I find out who this girl is. Hold on. now my mind is going. So because Alice Pieta, this new signee, just called her out. She said, I want that to be my first fight. All right. She said, I want that to be my first fight. Okay, hold on. Let me type that in. Maybe that's the first place I should have started. Alice Pieta calls out. Let's see. Hold on. Is that it? Sigula? Hold on. Sigula. Claudia Sigula. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. There you go. Claudia Sigula. That's the girl. That's the girl I'm talking about. Alice Pieta called her out. She literally called her out for her first fight, which is smart on her part because, yep. She's 6-2. That's her. She just lost to Melissa Mullins. She got finished in the second round. There you go. Back in November. Yep. So Alice wants her first. So not much to gauge off of her either, but I mean, that's a good call out for Alice. That's her first fight. Claudia Sigula's pretty much in the same boat. She got 8 fights. She's 5'8". She's a big bantamweight. To me, they both are questionable. Don't have much to go off of with either one of them. So, that's a good building block fight for her. At least she knows her place to call out those fights first. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to find out that name. That's the name she wants, though. But we'll see. I'm gonna see if I can find some things. I might have to go on the you might have to go deep in the web or something, buy them tapes back easy. Yeah, he said teacher retired 3 years ago. Yeah, that's it. Paul got it right there. Claudia Sigula, man. Like I said, I don't have IG. I do, but I don't. Like I always delete it now and check it like once a week. So I can't jump on it to find out. Axel said, I watched the video. No way that Alice Pieta is a bantamweight. She's a natural featherweight or a lightweight. That's what I'm thinking. She probably is. She probably really is. Axel, she's just fighting. She's going to move down like Kayla. She's going to come in here, drain herself, and kill herself until they figure out they need a featherweight division. That's probably going to be the situation. All right. But, all right. So, this weekend it wasn't bad. I mean, this was needed, man. This past weekend, I want to say, is this the first time we got this many finishes in a row on 2 weekend cards? Because we had three women fights last week, the weekend before this, and we had 2 finishes. Because the Sam Hughes fight was good, but it wasn't a finish. Sam Hughes and Stephanie Luciano fight, but we had those 2 finishes. And this weekend we had 2 finishes. So, hey, we need this. We need this type of action right now in WMMA. At least it's starting to put fighters on the map. The previous weekend we had 2 first round finishes, and this weekend we had these were both first and second round finishes, and that's what the fans want. And I think it's good for women, because then everybody will stop saying the fights are boring. They'll tune in, and the quicker they get them done, and the quicker they can't judge them, right? They can't say, oh man, like I don't want to see this, but when they see the knockout, they'll be like, oh, That was solid. That's what I'm talking about. They're gonna start tuning in more. So I was happy with that. I was satisfied. Like I wasn't crazy about the matchups. They weren't really anything that I was going crazy about. Puja Tomar, I was still like, okay, let's see what she can do. And we saw what she was capable of. Puja Tomar, still a little skittish in there, still a little intimidated by one dimension of Shauna Bannon. I mean, was I the only one kind of giggling a little bit, man, about how Shauna Bannon was just hopping on one leg and just dominating the first round with that one kick? Was I the only one kind of not like bust out laughing, but just kind of like I was like, what's going on, man? Like I thought Puja Tomar had like better striking than that, which she did when she let her hands go, but she was just letting this girl push her around with one push kick. So I was a little like, man, what's going on, girl? Like you can't get on the inside. You gonna stay out here and just let her stab you to death with this side kick? And it wasn't hard to figure out. It really wasn't hard to figure out. I mean, she had this wide open guard, right? And Pooja did land a couple. She did land a big head kick. She finally made that adjustment. She finally adapted and said, okay, this is how I'm going to get in. And she was able to land on that hesitant kick, Yeah, Pooja, I wasn't really sure about her signing. Yeah, you said I was mad for Pooja, two beats. Yeah, I really wasn't sure. Like, I wasn't really mad, but at the same time, I really was I was more disappointed now that I got to see her in a fight and just see her level. Like the last fight, yeah, okay, she pulled off a victory. I wasn't impressed with this one. Just seeing how she was intimidated by one kick and wasn't really confident in her own striking just kind of made me like, oh man, like really disappointed. Okay, Paul Ravioli said striking looks goofy. Yeah, Paul. Yeah, I saw Sky lost. I need to finish the fight. It was kind of boring, but I need to go back and watch it. I got it here. I'm gonna finish that Sky Nichols fight. I was skimming around it, but yeah, I saw she lost. I'm ready for Michaela Mayer and Samantha Ryan. What's her name? Sandy Ryan. Yeah, they call her. Yeah, Sandy. Sam. Yeah, she fights this weekend. So yeah, impressive finish. Yeah, it was impressive finish for Bannon though. Because after eating a big head kick, she bounced back quick. She recovered too. Like some people were saying she needed to be stopped off the ground and pound. Like, let me ask y'all that. Like, do y'all think the fight should have been stopped? Because some people are arguing and say, "Oh, Bannon should have been stopped." I'm like, nah. I was like, I saw some people on Facebook, saying y'all robbed Tomar of a finish. I was like, nah. Like, she got on top of her. It's almost like when Lemos dropped. Did Lemos drop Dern? And she did the same thing, right? And then that one fight, yeah, Demopoulos and Sylvania Juarez, it was kind of similar where, Juarez dropped Demopoulos and then they just engage on the ground. Like it gives the fighter a time to recover. So I thought Bannon didn't need to be stopped. I thought she recovered. She woke up and, she found a win. Did y'all see the Jungle Flyweight Championship? Carol Forho. No, I didn't. I'm gonna put that on my back burner to watch. Carol Foro, 8-1 Brazilian. Okay, she won a jungle fight. She won by first round finish. Okay, I'm gonna put that on the side. Yeah, I'll watch that later. Yeah, B just said no because what having Bannon would have lost if they stopped it. She fought through and got the win. Yeah, I thought she fought through it. She looked fine to me. It was like when she got hit with the head kick, that was it. Yeah, some fights stop for less. So, I mean, that was a clean head kick, and yeah, she probably could have knocked her out had she let her get back up, or had maybe she, came in a little from the north-south position and landed some heavy shots. But I was fine with it. I was fine with it continuing. Some people must have money on Pooja, but hey, I'm just saying. Yeah, I still think Pooja needs she needs some good tests out there. She just really needs some work. Same thing with Bannon, because Bannon, she got caught with a big head kick. She got caught with a big one too. So it's the same situation, with her. She had leaky defense. Both had leaky defense. But the thing about Pooja is just, a lack of IQ there. And that's why I got to give Carla Esparza more credit, man. Like, this girl tiny, but with her style, she knows how to go in and dominate bigger women and take them down. Like, maybe that's something that Pooja needs. Like, she's so dedicated maybe to being a striker, but she don't know how to commit to her reach, that when fighters are longer, she can't get them down. But had she maybe had some more wrestling, maybe a wrestling background, maybe she would have got her down and took her out. So I'm just saying, like, little girls like Carla, that you seen go in there and just thrash Yan Janan or beat Marina and bigger, longer girls. I know it don't happen all the time, but at least you see them do that. So, yeah, question's still out for both of them. Question's still out. Alexa Thainera, she came up in here showing up, showing out, showing off. So I was like, hey, she better get a victory. Alexa Thainera retiring McCann. I mean, that's good on her. I think Alexa Thainera, when I was watching her on the Contender Series, I was like, okay, this girl's got some energy here. And I was, curious as to see what her style would be. And seeing her come in and get a finish on short notice, that does give me high hopes for Thainera. Because, all right, I know she's in there playing around, doing all this showboating. Hopefully it stays outside of the cage and she doesn't transition it into fights. Because strawweight, the rise in this division right now, even for her, it's going to be tough. There's a lot of different styles right now, and at strawweight, even though some of the girls I kind of question, but I still think, Alexa Thainera, she needs to work. She's got to stay serious, and I mean, she did. She faked Molly McCann into a striking match, some good heavy leg kicks, and then she goes in for a takedown. So yeah, I think that's how you want to put yourself on the map. Short notice call and get you a finish. So I think that we'll probably see her fight pretty soon here again. I think they're going to call her back real soon. Who would be a good matchup for her now that she just got her first victory? I know Loma's fighting Estela Nunes. Who's a good matchup for Alexa Thainera? Is it Yasmin Jauregui? Yasmin Jauregui, that's a good fight. Well, Denise Gomes might be too big of a step up, or do you think? What do you think? Those are some names, though. Yeah, going back to Shauna Bannon, she's going to get slept in the future if she don't chill on that pump fake sidekick. Yeah, because I think the commentators mentioned it, but it kind of reminded me of like when Holly was up on her leg and Amanda Nunes caught her real quick. So she's going to be wide open for that. I kind of want to see Shauna Bannon and Fatima Klein fight. I've been wanting to see that since Invicta, so I want to see them kind of go that direction with them too, see if they can match them up. All right, so Gary said, need to see more from Alexa. Definitely, yeah. Easy said, I've been watching Thainera. She's a real dark horse. She's had a lot of canceled fights on resume, including Fatima Klein. Ooh, wow. I got to go back and look at that. She's good. I don't know how good, though. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing some good leg kicks from her, some decent offense. And her cardio seems decent, too. Her cardio seems really decent. Paul said, rest in peace, Shauna, if you feed her to Fatima. I wanted to see that fight when they were in Invicta really bad because they were selling Shauna Bannon pretty high back then. So I was like, all right, let her fight for the belt. But they didn't. They went on and signed her. And then Fatima never really fought for Invicta as much anymore. So I was like, all right, they'll meet up one day. And they did. I mean, they're both in the UFC now. Yeah, Fatima and Alexa, they were supposed to, I remember now. Yeah, they were supposed to fight on the Contender Series. Fatima and Thainera were going to fight on the Contender Series. But I think Fatima Klein, she answered the call to fight Jasmine. That was the situation, easy. I remember now. Yeah, they were going to fight in the Contender Series. And then Fatima, she she didn't pull out. She got a better offer, and they said, "Hey, you want to fight Jasmine?" She said, "All right, I'll fight Jasmine." Right? Yeah, really no big names on her resume yet to really judge her on. Um, her one loss is a guillotine choke to Bruna Brazil. That was like 6 years ago. So yeah, Alexa Dinier has one loss, and that was like really early in her career. Dang, she got choked out by Bruna Brazil though. Okay, she beat Ray and Amanda, who's in the UFC. Okay. She's actually supposed to fight Denise Gomes like before they were signed. She's got a lot of cancellations, man. Some girls that went on and got signed to the UFC. So eventually she'll meet up with some of them girls that, she's on the same level with, man. So hey, that's all right with me. Dinier versus Sam Page. Hey, that's not a bad fight, but I think Sam deserves maybe somebody like Carolina now. Give her somebody with a few more wins now, see where she stands. But Julia Pelostri, she's fighting this weekend too, right? So yeah, that's different. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. You think Natalia Silva vibes? Huh. I have to look at some of her early fights. I don't know. I think she looks to be a fighter that can do a little bit of everything. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see though. But yeah, it was a good weekend, man. Like I said, the past couple of weekends, good finishes. I think that we need that. What if they were all duck and thigh there? I mean, man, there's a lot of cancellations. Julia Pelostri, Idiana Silva, and she's seen fighting Invicta. Denise Gomes. Denise Gomes supposed to fight her way back, 2022. So she been like the low key boogie woman, right? All right. So yeah, Gabriella, what's up? She said Bannon versus Yasmin. Yeah. Oh, Bannon versus Yasmin or Melissa Martinez. Shoot, Melissa Martinez versus Thainera. That'd be a good fight. Or Thainera versus Elise Reed. Bannon versus Yasmin. I have to go with Yasmin all day. But Yasmin got to be careful with that chin, though, man. She got to watch some kicks because her chin hadn't been like the best. So that would be her downfall in the fight. But I think Yasmin would get past that her little hop along kick. All right, y'all. So moving on here. Before we jump to these flyweight fights here real quick. I know BJ sent me this, man. We got Miesha Tate in her recent interview here. And I was just looking at some of it. And can Miesha Tate get back to this status right here? She was, giving her thoughts. Because y'all know she's got a fight coming up. Iana. Now she wants to try to get back into title contention. Is it even possible right now? Is it possible? Let me see. Let me pull up this article. While I'm pulling this up, let me see. He said, "Do you think Molly would have retired if she had won the fight? If she won the fight, she wouldn't have retired. I think because she started to retire after losing the Stoyarenko fight. So it's always after a loss. Because let's be real, if she would have done well, the high would have been too much. She would have been not calling people out, but she would have been like, "Hey, I'm calling for another fight soon." So I think it was something where if I lose the fight, I'm not returning. Okay, look, Miesha Tate doesn't want to fight Julie. She doesn't want to fight Juliana Pena, but the UFC title changes everything. If that's what it comes down to, then I would. That's the question is if you ever get in that position, though, right? Can she get in that position? Let's see. An ideal year is win this fight against Yana, right? Win another fight and be calling for a title shot. I want that turnover as quickly as possible because I feel like I'm here for a good time, not for a long time. So I'm trying to make it happen in this year. We'll see what happens. This is my year. I feel like to either make it happen or not. Okay. So ideally, don't want to have to fight Juliana for a title because we're friends. We have a long history and I have so much respect for her. She's done so much. She was there. She was a body. She was always game. I'm so grateful. All right. She said, I want her to win the matchup, but I also want to fight for a title. But she don't want to fight her. Okay. I was like, look, I'll never hold that away from you. She had a conversation with Pena. See, I'll never turn you away or be like, hey, you can't have a shot at my belt because it's the belt. It's not personal. So she goes on. I mean, they put this whole article out here. Well, I mean, to me, man, I don't know, man. Miesha Tate, I think no matter how fast she goes, it'll be the same outcome. It's going to be the same outcome right now. She's done. I think she's done as much as she could, because I think that, with the way the division is right now, with some of the fighters that are coming up, I think they still have some of them have a better chance than her. Easy says, I think Miesha has a legit chance at 135 to get a shot. I personally don't, because I think some of the fighters we got to see this first. We got to see how this one goes, because first of all, I think Yana might stunt that. I think she might stop that right away. I think that Yana Konevskaya, that's one fight that she might struggle with. But let's say if she gets by her, which I'm not sure she really does. Like, I'm not picking yet, but Yana, I really don't think Yana is going to be a pushover. That's why they can't look past her. Yana's been landing more strikes. Yana's big, Yana's strong, so that's a test in itself. I think Miesha, she struggled with Ketlin Vieira. So I think there'll be a struggle here with somebody like Yana, because Yana knows her job is on the line too. She's trying to stay afloat. So I think Yana's a test right there. But let's say if she gets by Yana, like, who would they match her up against to beat that person and then say, I deserve a title shot? Because let's say if they put her in there, let's say she beats Yana, she calls out Norma. That fight right there, I don't think so, man. Like, Norma, the most winnable one would probably be Irene Aldana, if she could get the fight to the ground. But even then, that's a tough one. Irene Aldana would be like her best chance to get it. But even like those victories can't really argue title shot over where Norma stands. Who is she calling? Macy Chiasson, probably. Fighters like that. So I don't know if she can stand up to those girls. Eileen Perez. Yeah, Eileen Perez is a problem too. I think Eileen Perez would probably be a problem. But I definitely think Norma would. Norma and Macy Chiasson would. So it's hard for me to see like Miesha Tate just like get in there, show this next level too, because I know she's kind of going back to some of those wrestling roots and she's not spending too much time on the feet. But even then, I think some of these girls, their takedown defense and even their size, they use it well. Like, Norma knows how to use her size, and she's got pretty good hand speed too. I think she has pretty good hand speed. Like I said, I'm not like this huge Eileen Perez fan, which I'm, not really. I'm just more of a fan of how she's been working. But even her style is kind of dangerous for Tate, because how she knows how to clinch and strike on the ground. She's always moving, doing something. So yeah. So yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah, focus on Yana first before she looks at these big plans, because beating Yana doesn't really put her up against the top 5. You can beat Yana and then maybe beat one of these other girls that's a little high ranked, but that's not really something that pushes you towards a title shot, in my opinion. Because let me look at these rankings real quick. All right, Miesha's Miesha's number 11. Oh snap! Yeah, Miesha's number 11. She gonna fight a top 10. Yana's number 10. Let's say she beats Yana at number 10. I don't see anybody in between there where she could beat and then just scream title shot. Or I don't see them matching her up with somebody that high up to get her a title shot. Like, okay, let's say you beat Yana Santos. Will they match you up against Macy? Probably not. Norma? Probably not. because Norma's probably gonna get matched up with Rocky. Ketlin, you already fought and lost to her. Kayla's going for the title, so she's not going to get a top 5. The highest I think they would give her is like Irene Aldana or Eileen Perez. But even if she beat like a number 8 Eileen Perez, I don't think that would get her a title shot. If Eileen Perez beat her, it would guarantee her maybe a title eliminator. Seeing she would be on a nice win streak. But yeah, Misha's not really in a position right now to even talk title or anything like that. I mean, yeah, what's up, Tate? Yeah, Tate said Misha got to start over. Pretty much, yeah. Like it's a reset. You got to hit that reboot button right now because there's other girls right now that we're eyeing, and I'm looking at Norma right now as the next one after Kayla or whoever wins this fight. Yeah, and I don't see her beating any of the top 5 because she already lost to Ketlin. I really don't see her beating any of this top 5 right now. Top 8, if you want to be real, or even Carol. Could she beat Carol Rosa? That's questionable right there too. So yeah, I just don't want to see her get her hopes high here because, talking about the title, seems like that's what they spent a lot of time on with this one. There's a lot she was saying about it here. Kayla. Let's see, Kayla has incredible skill. She should be exactly where she is. She has great skill. But if you're talking about a full-on fist fight and slugging, who would shy away or break first? She said, I know it's not Juliana Pena. If Kayla can get a hold of Juliana and get her down, she's always got a path to victory. But do I think she'll win on the feet? No, I don't think at all. And I do think on the ground, she's going to have an easy time with Juliana. If she gets there, absolutely not. All right, so she favors Pena on the feet. I see. She thinks Pena's got more work on the feet. So yeah. Easy said the last time I doubted Misha, she became champion. The last time he doubted. Wow. Well, last time I doubted her against Ketlin, she did lose. So, and Lauren Murphy, because when she was making that move down to 125, I was highly doubting it. And I said, you know what, Lauren might go in there and wax her. And Lauren did. So I kind of thought, part of me wanted to say she might have a chance, but then I was like, nah, Lauren's going to win. It was just too drastic of a move down. So we'll see, man. I just don't think this is going to be, I just don't think this is going to be something in the cards for her right now. I'm still trying to see how this thing plays out with Pena. I'm trying to see what Pena has left to offer. Yeah, I remember that. She wanted to fight at 145. Like, I don't think 145 is where she needs to be. 135 is her home. And I think, if 145 doesn't cut it, then that might mean it might be time to go, Okay, so coming in very weird here. This fight right here, man. They threw me off with this one, man. Like, the UFC always does this, man. Like, they'll have me going, making all the right fights. And then you think they're going to continue to make the right fights, but then they make this fight. Like, again, shout out to Miranda. I mean, she's fighting a high-level opponent here, high-ranked opponent. But I think this is a big jump up here for Miranda. I really wanted to see her matched up with even Karine Silva or Ariane Lipsky. Those fights, to me, would have been better for her. I just think Rose is a familiar face, not saying that they'll hold back. Hopefully they don't hold back because, they train together. But to me, I just think sometimes that makes for boring fights because when fighters know each other from sparring and training, they know what to expect. So they won't get into the fire zone or the takedown zone, So that's what kind of leaves it, up in the air, like this being an action-packed fight. Because how many times, like training partners go in there and say, hey, let's go put on a real show. Let's try to take each other heads off. Like, let's try to knock each other out. Do you really think Miranda and Rose are going to bring that type of action? Not saying that they do that all the time. I'm just saying, like, do you think that that matchup really means? Hopefully they put their all on the line. I'm just hoping they are, but I'm just saying, like, that's the kind of vibe I get here, is like they know each other too well, where, Rose, who higher skill level, probably was showing Miranda a lot of pointers. So I still think it'd be like too early for Miranda to fully capitalize on weaknesses and expose certain things, especially when you train. Like I said, I don't know how close, but it seemed pretty close because they trained together for the Tracy Cortez camp for Rose, or whoever was supposed to fight her. They both trained in that camp together for Barber. So she was familiar with Barber, so she helped her out. So um, yeah, I just think that several camps together, I think, that just kind of leaves them, and then, not too far off either. It's just like less than a year ago. Less than a year ago, you put these two in here together, and now you got them. They train together. Now you put them in here less than a year, and now this the fight to make. You know, um, and yeah, I was like, they gave Rose considered who she's around. Yeah, it's considered an easy fight for Rose on paper. It's like, dang, y'all giving Rose somebody this low rank now, somebody that just got into the rankings that to me needs to grow. Like Miranda's ranked number 12 right now. It's probably the lowest ranked opponent Rose ever fought. They act like nobody else was in the ranking vicinity for her. I mean, the Aaron fight wasn't that bad, right? I mean, she did lose, clearly lost to me, but it didn't make me say, oh, Rose got to go all the way back. Because it's basically saying, like, she's ranked, let's see, Miranda's ranked near Casey O'Neill, like she's fighting to Casey O'Neill or somebody. Nah, man, I thought Rose could have still withstood a Viviane Araujo fight or Jasmine fight. Shoot, the rubber match with Jessica made a lot of sense, because to me, that was just like, okay, that's a sidebar fight. Let all the other flyweights fight while these two strawweights who moved up fight and hash it out. That to me, that would have been the one. Yeah, I ain't gonna sleep on Miranda though. Like, we'll see. Mentally, I think Miranda will be in the fight. That's the thing, experience and technique, we can say that's Rose all day. But as far as being 100% in the fight, Rose has her days where she's not fully in a fight, and we see it, right? So Miranda, even though she's lost fights, I can always say at least she kept trying. She just maybe lacked skills, or she might have lacked a certain technique at the time, but I never really seen Miranda check out of a fight. Like, Miranda's never mentally checked out of a fight. That's the one thing I could say about her versus Rose. So the focus, I think, would be on Miranda's side here. So that's one thing that keeps her in this fight. That's a big part that keeps her in the fight, because, Miranda, one that's not going to quit, and one that knows the stakes here. And we got to still say it too. Like, she's been working with Rose, so she's seen some things too, and she knows maybe what to expose here. She might know how to do certain things here. We just don't know, right? So with those things riding on her side, I mean, she still has a good chance to win, right? And that's another thing. We know Rose. She knows how to rise to the occasion for the big fights. She been in some of the biggest fights, and that's where you see like her at her best. So we'll see. Like, does she feel like this is something that's going to get her back into that light again? And this is like her third go. You know what I mean? Like at flyweight, because the first one to get to the title shot was Manon, which was a mistake off top. Taking on the best flyweight off top. That was a mistake, right? So she loses that. Puts together two good wins. Cortez and Ebos, but then right back at it. Going in against the best, and Aaron came up short again. So third time, go a little lower. Maybe see if she can grow into the division strength wise. Muscle, put that muscle on. So now she's taking on Miranda, Say if she wins, I'm sure she's gonna have to fight somebody else like Arujo or Jasmine. And those are going to answer questions. Those type of fights will answer questions again. But then, so say she beats one of them, she'll be back in there with like a Grass or a Silva. So maybe she's just trying to give it a go a few more times. Maybe flyweight is where she wants to try to really get a belt. And with where she is now, I mean, what she got to lose. It's not like Rose is pushing 40 right now. Rose is not pushing 40. There's not a lot of injuries on her. She's not in there getting like beat down, or she's not like physically worn out, because she takes a lot of breaks in between fights, right? Rose took a lot of breaks. Between fights, back in strawweight days. And this has been her longest streak at flyweight. This is the most consistent she's been, So I think Rose definitely, she wants to continue fighting at flyweight. That's fine, as long as as long as you see some improvements and you can say, oh, this girl is getting heavier, like putting on the muscle like Grasso did, and it's effective. Maybe it's just taking her a little longer, but she got to be careful with Miranda. Still got to be careful. Everybody's saying it's going to be a gimme fight or easy fight. We'll see. Miranda, she used to train with like Andrea Lee, and she took her, I won't say like just completely dominated, but she learned from her and, was able to use stuff against her. So who do you think winning would be best for the division? Honestly, I think Miranda winning at this point would be better for the division. She's number 12 and she would be fighting at number 6. They probably like meet her somewhere in the middle, like a 7 or 8 if she wins. I think Miranda, it would show a lot of, growth there. And she's a new head. She's been working at this for a long time. So to see it pay off and beat Rose, I mean, like, oh, yeah, that would mean a lot, because it's like her first go round. This first time she's been this high. We already seen Rose here before, So I think it would be better, because we know Miranda always wants to fight. That's the thing. Like, even when they ain't scheduling fights, she's always reaching out like, hey, y'all got to fight for me. Y'all got to fight for me. There was a period where, people weren't even wanting to fight her. Like Casey O'Neill didn't want to fight her. Molly McCann didn't want to fight her. She was actually reaching out to those fighters. Macy didn't want to fight her again when she wanted to, So I think, Miranda's definitely a good, if she wins, that'll be a good flyweight in that position. She's definitely a good fighter to be in that position to me. Rose, if she wins, we'll have to see where she goes from there again. We'll have to see if she can bounce back with 2 or 3 wins before she gets back to title eliminator. That's kind of where I see it. Tate said, Easy said they're trying to keep Rose relevant. Shoot, they want to really keep her relevant. They need to make that rubber match with Andrade and call it a day. Yeah, Paul, Rose has fought a lot of killers. She's fought a lot of tough fighters, and those are some of the fights she rose to the occasion for. Tate said, if she beats Rose, that's a big name on her resume. Yeah, that would be her first champion on her resume. I know she called for Andrade too. Miranda wanted to fight Jessica Andrade, but they didn't give her that fight. They gave it to Jasmine. But, hey, this is a former champ too, so we'll see. It was just a weird matchup to me. I just thought that to me, the fight with Lipsky would have been good. Rose versus Viviane Araújo was a good fight, or Karine Silva, that would have been good. Gary said this is a 3-round fight opposed to a 5. Yeah, definitely not going to be a 5-round fight. Paul said it actually makes sense. Give Rose a fight she should be able to win, and at the same time give Miranda a big name and a big opportunity, because she's been racking up wins. Yeah. Like, I'm not knocking it. Like, hey, I'm glad she's getting this fight. Definitely. I just hope that they aren't too familiar where something suffers. So, yeah. Like, who do you think is better for the division if they win, though? That's the question. Who do y'all want to see win to see the division move forward? Andrade needs to go. Jessica's game plan has always been the same. No head movement. Come straight ahead, no skill or only power. No, I just say Tay, it's the same. It's always the same. It's always the same. That's why I'm like, when people get knocked out by her now, it makes you question them, man. It makes you say, what's wrong with you? You've seen this time and time again. Yeah. Two beats the Andrade and Jazzy fight. It will be interesting. It will be interesting. Okay, Marcus said Miranda, and so did TBs. Yeah. I think that her winning is going to make the division move, and I'm ready to see her get her shine. Definitely. Uh oh. All right. Now, who looking forward to this fight? I know we all are looking forward to this one here. Barber, she's coming out from the shadows. Blanchfield has got her opponent. I keep forgetting, I keep thinking Barber is 5 or 6, but Macy Barber is number 4 now. Number 4. I'm kind of surprised Macy Barber is ranked higher than Natalia Silva, though, man. Ain't y'all? I actually thought Natalia Silva was ranked number 4 and Barber was 5 because of the inactivity, but all this time she was number 4. Blanchfield Barber, man. I don't even know what to say now. I really don't even know what to say right now, except finally, finally they put this one together. I mean, we already know Aaron. You come on. We already know what Aaron wants. Aaron want to fight anybody. I'm just saying, Macy, look, Paul, don't get mad, Paul. I know Paul, he's rocking with Barber. He's pro Barber, but I know when Aaron gets the call, Aaron is ready to go. So I knew she wanted this fight. I knew she wanted this one. That's why I was kind of suspect on this fight happening, because I thought, Macy Barber being out for so long, I thought they might go the route or they might go the route of rescheduling the Rose fight or even giving her somebody a little bit lower. I thought that was a possibility. That's what I was worried about. But hey, shout out to her. She's accepting it, man. She's accepting it. It's a main event and it's going down. I think that Easy said they need UFC 1 rules for this fight. Oh man, you talking about brutality right here. Okay, Paul said bring on the Macy hate. He said bring it on. He said he needs some backup right now. Yeah, let's talk about that angle first. When you look at these two fighters, Tate, style wise, they both got their own type of finishing strategies. Of course, jiu-jitsu, submission game, that's Aaron all day. Aaron's got hands too, though. That's one thing you ain't gonna do. You ain't gonna back her up. She gonna come forward with it. But that might be the danger here. Macy Barber, her thing is her kickboxing. That's her game. Throwing them head kicks, body kicks, heavy hands. Her finishing strategy is is always trying to set up that right hook, left hand, or even a head kick. So it's gonna be like a contrast to styles, but almost similar aggression. Similar aggression between these two. I really like how these two. I like how these two have been talking trash, low key. It ain't really been so loud, but it's like how they kind of sneak diss each other. And it's mostly coming from Barber's side too, because Barber's like, this girl right here, she ain't really championship material. And I'm like, dang, man, come on. You over talking about Aaron. You over here talking about Aaron. And Aaron been in there with some killers right now. I mean, she started off unranked. She dominated Miranda, finished JJ, finished Molly, beat Tyler Santos, beat Jessica Andrade. The girl got a gritty resume. Then she went in there and went 5 with Manon. People thought she would lose to Rose. She beat Rose. So that's a lot of different styles on Aaron's resume. So I think Macy, she's fought a lot of different fighters too, but I think that Aaron's been more in control of her fights. To me, Aaron has been more in control. Where I think Macy, she kind of let some rounds slide, and I think that's where her downfall is. Like, how many girls have really been in trouble of getting knocked out by her though? That's the thing. Like, Easy said, can Barber hurt Aaron more than Manon though? And the thing is, like, power wise, if she connects, I'm sure she could. Two Beasts, because that's a good question. Can she hurt Aaron more than Manon? I think she could, because of the way she punches and also the way Aaron enters. But the question is, will Macy connect like that on her? Like, will Macy hold back? Because again, I asked that question, like, how many girls has she like really finished outside of Amanda Ebos? Like, Andrea Lee, was Andrea Lee ever really fully in danger of being like completely starched? Or was Miranda, whenever she fought Macy, she kind of absorbed a lot of the punches, and he actually kept Macy on the back foot. I think the biggest shot that Miranda got hit by from Macy was in that third round. It was like a spinning back elbow, and she took it well. Like, I never seen Miranda like buckled in that fight. Miranda was never really buckled. Alexa Grasso, she was never really like hurt in that fight. So yeah, Macy's got power, but sometimes she'll hold back on it. Like, if the fights get a little too technical, that's where you don't really see them. You don't really see the knockouts come. Yeah, Gary said Macy has 3 knockouts in like 12 fights. Right. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking at here. But when you look at Aaron's style, the possibilities could go up, because if you're getting hit as many times as she did against Manon, and I'm just being real, Manon hit Aaron a lot of times in that fight. So she can't come in there with that same energy. She's like, see, Manon's style different than Barber. Manon should touch you, move. She hit Aaron with some good solid punches. She'll hit you with solid punches, but when Barber connects, because her hands are heavier, when you're coming forward, you're doing half the job for her. So, when you hit her, boom, but Manon more, Manon is more about moving, like outboxing and out striking you. She'll hit you with that right hook, but there was power on it. Again, I got to say, because if you look at Aaron's forehead in that Manon fight, she started getting swole up. And that's why I'm just comparing the two. Like, technique wise, Manon's more hit and not get hit, or hit and move. Whereas Barber, she'll sit down on him if this girl comes running in. So I don't know. This is really going to test the chin in this fight. So that's why I really want to see this fight too, because this ain't no easy fight on both sides. You know me, I don't want to see no easy fight, because Natalia Silva and Grasso, I want that fight, but I can't call it. I can't call it 100%. Manon and Valentina, I can't call it 100%. I got the people I want to see win, but I'm not like, oh, this is easy. Not at all, man. Now, who does a 5-round fight favor, though? Who does a 5-round fight favor? Who do y'all think a 5-round fight favors more here? Again, off top, if you're going by, experience and gas tank, and, somebody that just doesn't quit, I think Aaron's proven, to be a 5-round fighter. Definitely, proven to be a 5-round fighter. One of the downfalls here is that, Macy Barber been out for a while. So we can't really say that favors her. Hopefully, they've been getting the road work in and so on. I've been hearing things about the condition that she's had. Some people posted up what it was. I've heard so many different things, different articles. So I'm not really sure what to put together with her sickness, but I hope it doesn't affect her stamina. Really, I don't. I hope it doesn't, man, because I want a good fight. Like, I don't want to see Barber in there weak, So with that, just that year off might affect. It might affect, a 5-round fight. It's going to affect it. Like, you might see her kind of wither in the third or fourth. So, Macy's got to be offensively sharp here. And by that, I mean, you can't be shadow boxing. I don't know if you remember that, Tate, but I was asking some people in here, like, the other day. It was Uriah Faber. He was telling her to stop shadow boxing one time. He was up in there. She was up in there, just sitting back with the Miranda Maverick fight. And Uriah Faber was like, "Come on, do something. Don't just be sitting there all day. So she can't do any of that in this type of fight." All right, Tate said, "I'm leaning towards Blanchfield to win, but I feel that Barber got something up her sleeve. If Blanchfield's not careful, she'll get knocked out. She's really going to have to use the jab. Good fight and not trade with Macy. Definitely. Jab is going to be important." Gary said, Macy Duckman, no. Oh, yeah, we discussed that before. Well, let's just say they didn't want that fight. There was a better selection for him, right? Don't get Paul started, though. Paul said, as a Macy fan, I'm a little concerned about the 5 rounds and the threat of Aaron subs. Okay, he's being honest, though. Paul is pro Barber, but he's worried about the 5 rounds. So let me ask you, Paul, like, what makes you worry about the 5 rounds? Like, is it her gassing out or her just letting rounds slide and her not fighting the whole time? Is she a slow starter? What is it? Axel said, let's say Aaron and Natalya win her fights. Who will get the title? I think it might come down to who looks the best. Honestly, if Natalya wins, I would let Natalya fight for the belt since she's never been in that position before. This will be Aaron's second time around. So, I think, after Aaron lost that Manon fight, made her reset just a little. But, Natalya, that would be her 7th win against a former champion. So I think it's only fair Natalya gets it. Because, she been in that position and hey, she's, Aaron's been in that position before. So I think she deserves it. Gary said this is a 5-round fight. Yes, it's a main event. This is 5 rounds. This is a main event. It is a 5-round fight. That's the question. Like, who does it favor? Paul said only because we have never seen Macy go 5, unless I'm forgetting something. No, you're not forgetting. Even if she did have a main event, maybe it didn't go 5. Was that Ebos fight a main event? Because that only went 2, right? Let me see. Aaron's headlined some cards, but when did Macy Barber headline a card? No, that wasn't even a main event. That was a co-main event. Yeah, Macy Ebos was a co-main event. Yeah, she's never headlined a card. Yeah, she's never done a 5-rounder fight at all. So, yeah, I just think that Macy Barber, man, like, that's the big question. Like, I do agree there, though. Like, the equalizer is in both hands of Macy. So she's got to be more technically sound. And she's got to start early. She got to be ready to counter, actually, if Aaron starts early. Because Aaron is, Aaron might come in there, fighting behind the jab and building a lead. And the more that happens, Macy might get a little frustrated. Next thing you know, she's getting taken down, So, yeah. So, yeah, that was the one question I had, like, title shot wise. Yeah, I just answered that. Yeah, title shot. I think that regardless of who wins their fights, even if Aaron wins in dominant fashion here, I still think Silva deserves her shot since she was there, against a former champion. And, Aaron already had a similar go and she got hers fairly. So I think Silva deserves a shot. All right, let me see if I can move this camera here. This is the real question I got to ask. Who's a smarter fighter, though? Like, out of watching their fights, who do you think is smarter? Who's made the smarter choices in fights? Like, who just seems to be a smarter fighter on the fly? For me, I think I'll say Aaron is a smarter fighter. Though I definitely think Aaron has been a smarter fighter. I think that people will knock her hands, knock her striking, but I think she makes it work. I think she makes it work for what she's doing, and how she's able to get these victories. She's had some rough starts in fights, but watching her take over has always showed me that, oh, okay, like she ain't one dimensional. Like, oh man, she ain't lost. Like she always comes up with a way to win. Like that Tyler Santos fight, it was a little scary whenever Tyler was knocking that head around a little bit. I saw like Aaron get thudded a little bit, and she looked like she was a little wobbly, but eventually, she started ducking her head, jabbing her way in, and just clinching and taking the fight in close quarters. So Aaron did what she had to do with what she was limited with, So even though Aaron might be limited with some things, she might not have the best striking or like even best wrestling. I think, Aaron, she makes do. She makes do with what she has. And I mean, look at the resume. She's finished everybody, or she's either dominated or that's it. The Rose fight proved a lot again. The Rose fight proved that basically in the Rose fight, she said, all right, I know that I've got that grit. So if I continue to just stick with this game plan, Rose ain't gonna be able to weather this storm, So she just kept sticking with it. She just stuck with the game plan and it worked. Always finding the openings, to just end the fight. Like that's another thing, she's always looking to end the fight and not play around. If she knows the finish is there, she's going to take it. So yeah, I definitely think she's a smarter one. I say that because Barber, I think she throws better. I think her strikes are better, but she be holding back sometimes, man. Like she holds back sometimes, and sometimes I'm like, all right, Barber, what you doing? I'm like, what are you doing? Like you should be able to go ahead and win this fight. Like Andrew Lee fight, I was like, okay, you can do this. Go ahead and get this girl out of here. But there's just too many moments of waiting. So I just think that smarter choices I've seen made in a Blanchfield fight than a Barber fight. And Barber, she'll get him out of there, if she lands big on you. But that's just my opinion. I think smarter fighters, Aaron. So going into this fight, I think that, really seeing who's able to adapt, before maybe a big shot connects, or if it ends early by submission, I think you'll see Aaron make slight changes in the fight that could give Barber some trouble down the stretch. And that's going to come in handy. It's going to come in handy when if it goes to round 4 or 5. If it goes down to like round 4 or 5, definitely. But with that being said, I mean, yeah, I'm ready. I'm glad they put this one on the schedule, May 31st. It is going down. All right, most of y'all said, yeah, he's a smarter fighter. Yeah, that's how I think too. That's pretty much, yeah. Aaron, Tate said, Aaron, I feel is a smarter fighter. Paul said, I feel Aaron just walks into punches. She's too tough for her own good, like Jazzy. I actually see Jazzy not walking into punches as much anymore. Jasmine actually kind of changed that in her last fight. I mean, she's going to need it when she fighting Jessica Andrade. But, she's going to need to sound, kind of take her foot off the gas against Andrade. But, yeah, I definitely think, like, Jazzy's kind of making a change. Hopefully Aaron does, too. Like, I think they won't take that approach in this type of fight, though. I definitely think they won't take that type of approach in this fight, though. Because you could do that, like I said. Did that in the Manone fight. Manone was catching her with some punches, too. I'm just saying, like, she lucky in that fight. She didn't get knocked down. But this one here is highly possible because of the power, natural power that Barber has, so that's what I'm saying. This fight can go any way right now. It can really go any way. And I think, hold on. The longer it stays in there, the longer you're going to be tensed up. I'm just trying to find something here. Okay. All right. I'll tell you what, man. I remember a scary moment that Aaron and Manon fight when Manon tried to take her down and she almost got locked in with that guillotine. That was a bad mistake on her part. So if Aaron ain't on her game, she might get submitted. She try to jump in there and do something crazy like that. You know, Aaron is always ready to submit. That's the thing. All right. Okay, so yeah, definitely ready for this fight. I'm shoot, I'm let's see, we're about what? Yeah, I can't wait, man. It's like what, two more months away? Yeah, 2 months away. What else we got? Who's fighting this weekend? Loopy and Palaustri's fighting this weekend. Who wins that fight? I kind of lean towards Loopy. I think I'll lean towards Loopy. I think Loopy's kind of learned from those fights that she's lost. Usually, whenever she has a good little break and she doesn't just jump right into a fight, I think wait, how does her pattern go? I used to know her pattern. Like she would lose the short notice fights, right? But she would lose the fights that she prepared for. Palostri is tough. Palostri is she's a tough come forward type of fighter. That's why I'm kind of thinking that maybe Loopy's boxing will be effective. I'll lean towards Loopy. We'll see though. We'll see. But yeah, I always think that, whenever she has the time to prepare, she comes out better. But sometimes, man, like I think her cardio is a little questionable too. Like, is that just me? Is that me? Like, some people think that's kind of questionable. Like, it's either because when she gets hit in the nose, her breathing is compromised. But yeah, she starts to kind of she starts to just get a little winded sometimes, her fights. Axel said, yeah, the takedown of Manon was planned. Observe that after that Aaron didn't attempt any takedowns. Ravioli said, but Loopy lost to the higher level girls. Yeah, she lost to all the higher level fighters. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like she should be able to beat this girl, Palostri. If she don't, it's time to go. No, I'm just playing. But seriously though, man, seriously. But I'm getting up out of here, y'all. Been a good show. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Yeah, hit the like button. If you like talking WMMA. If you don't hit the like button, that means you don't want to see Blanchfield and Barber fight. Paul said he'll hit the dislike button because I'm picking Barber. No. Am I picking Barber? Oops, I gave it away, right? I think it's more of a mental cardio issue. As time goes on, she starts to make mistakes in there. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, she just starts to look winded because, once she gets hit in the nose a lot, she starts breathing a lot, breathing heavy, because of the way her nose is too. She starts bleeding, so kind of compromises her breathing. Yeah, so 5 rounds definitely going to be questionable for her down the line, but we'll see. Yeah, I just lean towards Loopy in this one, man. I think she still has the experience to get this victory. I think it's more of a mental cardio issue. Yeah, Palostri has fought only 2 unranked fighters who've been cut and lost to one of them. Loopy is fighting top girls recently, right? Hopefully the MMA math adds up. All right. But yeah, hit that like button, y'all, and subscribe if y'all want to hear some more WMA talk. I am getting up out of here now. It's time to roll. That time schedule worked out perfectly. So yeah. If you missed the show, hey, go back and listen to it. I'm out of here. Peace.